much of anything well. So,
see, to me, Zander, what you kept bringing up today on your show, dude, McKee looking horrible is an indictment on Mannion. I mean,
Nick.
Mannion's the one coaching him up, though, right now. Mannion is. Do you think there's any coincidence that Jalen Hurts and Mannion are going the other way, passing the ball? I mean, how obvious is it? They believe in system and not developing of players. They believe in developing a system, not the one individual, to make that guy better. They did it with Wentz at the end. This is an organizational thing, I think, Zander.
Well, it's
in how they approach.
I hope he's worth a shit because, I mean, we'll be wasting another season if he's not.
And another Super Bowl window of Jalen Hurts, right?
And Super Bowl windows don't last that long. I mean, how many times have we talked about that on the show? I mean,
bro, most of them are 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
The anomalies are the New England Patriots and like the 49ers.
Yeah, but remember, even they had a 10-year gap.
They did have a 10-year gap. They did have a 10-year gap. Where do you think the team needs to improve the most right now?
Well, it's tough to say that because of the nature of who played. I mean, I don't think you can. The depth isn't as good as we thought. If somebody gets hurt, we're probably gonna have a tough look.
Look, that's an NFL thing, though, just for all out there.
If Jalen Hurts goes, we were already fucked, but if Jalen Hurts goes down, now we're really fucked. I mean, I don't think they're doing anything if Jalen goes down.
Oh, they'd make a trade.
No Nick Foles dreams here.
No, they'll go make a trade for Mac Jones if that happened.
I could see that.
No,
Hurts won't get hurt though. Here, Hurts doesn't get hurt like that.
Hurts knows how to. One thing Jalen does, many things, but the one thing he does exceptionally well, I think he protects himself pretty well. You see Jackson Dart. That guy is just so stupid.
Oh, he's so stupid. He's almost so stupid it makes you like. And then after the game, I heard him say, I don't get why every time I'm hit, I'm in the blue tent. I'm like, dude, because you're getting your clock cleaned.
Look at the hits.
Dude, are you trying to, like, leading a franchise requires you to be a different version of yourself.
That's correct.
As a player and as a man. I mean, come on, dude,
Zander, here was my issue with it. Yes, the back missed the assignment. Sure. But you didn't see that guy rushing in on you and decleating you and putting you on your head? And then he goes, why am I in a blue tent? Well, look at the hits. I could put a highlight reel of Crash Test Dummy. And you're it, dude. That guy belongs on a WWE wrestling mat, not on an NFL football field. He's taking hits and he's wondering why. I was like,
do you think Nick's on the hot seat?
What's that?
Do you think Nick's on the hot seat?
In October, we'll know. Middle of October, you'll know if this thing's bumpy. Right now, he's got complete benefit of the doubt. He's got a record behind him. He's got resume behind him. But I'll tell you what, there is no question. One thing that I have learned covering your football team, Z, that organization doesn't give a shit who you were. They only care who you're going to be. They want to know what you're going to do next for us. They don't care what you've done.
I weirdly think that Tanner McKee's regression is a bad sign for Nick.
It is.
Because he's supposed to be more of like what Nick had.
Correct.
Like, you could make an argument with Jalen. It's like Nick never had a dual threat quarterback. So he, maybe he gets a little bit more leeway there. Tanner, it's like, how do you get a pocket passer who's fallen off as a pocket passer? Guy forgot how to be a pocket passer.
In a year, because he doesn't know what he's doing.
And he's so risk averse, he's afraid to throw the ball in any tight windows.
Are you concerned about the backup quarterback position if Hurts goes down?
Yeah, I just said that. The team is fucked.
Okay. So, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I mean, that's mostly the case, though, to be honest.
Man, damn. Look, I'm going to put this away after this program, and then we're going to move on to New England, and we're going to figure what that thing looks like. Do you think the third wide receiver spot is not up for grabs now. It's a slam dunk that McKee Lemon. Okay. And I agree with you. Is Cooper still in the room or in the conversation?
It depends what he does. I mean, again, he only dropped. He had one bad play. I mean, I'm not going to write the guy off because of one bad play, but he's got to have a good rest of camp. I mean, he's fighting an uphill battle. Welcome to the business of the NFL, son. Like you always said. I mean, you got an uphill battle. You weren't a first-round pick. You don't get the type of leeway that some other guys get. You're either going to bitch about it and moan about it, or you're going to take your circumstances and run with them the best way you can. So, I think Cooper just has to have a good rest of camp, and every opportunity that comes his way, he's got to make. That's why I was upset about the drop. It's like I compared it to Devontae and AJ dropping, but they get more leeway. They do. You don't have that. You're not in that position. So we need Cooper to step up, but I think it's going to be Lemon.
Do you think that the Raiders should start Fernando Mendoza over Kirk Cousins?
No, I don't. No.
You don't want to know what you have right now?
No.
Well, the Raiders aren't going to win shit, though, dude.
That's what I mean. So what the fuck's the rush?
Don't you want to find out who he is?
No.
Okay. So you think the Bengals should have sat Burrow?
Do you think Andy Reid wanted to find out who Mahomes was when he had Alex Smith?
He had a competent Alex Smith.
Okay.
Well, Kirk Cousins is competent.
Kirk Cousins is a pretty competent player, dude.
But Kansas City was a good football team. They won the division that year.
Did they really?
Yep, look it up. They won the division.
Chiefs last year with Alex Smith. Let's see.
They won the division.
Yeah, you're right.
I believe they got
4,000 yards.
I believe they got to the AFC Championship game too. That season. That's why he sat. Because they had a competent guy in the building. And they got to they went pretty deep in the playoffs that year. They may not have been AFC title game. They may have gotten beat in the divisional round that year.
I don't see the playoffs.
Because I think that's the Burrow year, maybe.
Man, he had a good year. 26 touchdowns, 5 picks, 67.5 completion rate, 4,000 yards. 105 rating, career best.
And they benched him.
Yeah, well, Patrick Mahomes is coming. A generational player.
With no proven talent. They put his ass in there. And they made him sit there.
Yeah, but my point is I've always believed, and I've said this before, but I think the one position that the NFL needs to continue to exercise patience is that position. I mean, is there any coincidence that the Packers have gone from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to now Jordan Love? I mean,
and they've all sat.
There's no reason to rush most quarterbacks out. I don't think. Look at how good do you think that year was for Pat to watch from the sidelines?
Yeah, watching preparation, watching how to put a game plan together.
I mean, if I'm the Raiders, I'm not worried about this year anyway.
Plus,
like I want him watching Kirk Cousins and sit on the sideline with a headset and learn.
Absolutely.
I don't think you need to rush him out there at all.
Final thoughts here, Z, on this, and I don't know. Maybe JAKIB will join us here. I think he's busy over at the complex right now. So,
well, remember they had later practice today.
Yeah, so let's see. He may join us. We're going to go back to you guys here, but your final thoughts, bro. I
mean, I would have flushed the game, but it wasn't ideal. Not what you wanted to see. And, the stats are almost funny. If you look at them, like 440 to 150 yards, 31 first downs to 6. Eagles are 0 for 9 on third down, 7 3-and-outs in the game, 80 total yards going into the fourth quarter, 2 first downs going into the fourth quarter when Cole Payton entered the game. Just horrible. I mean, they didn't do anything in the game. So you wanted to see a little bit more. Anybody who says otherwise, I think, is lying to you and is justifying. It's the first game for Sean Mannion, first impression of Sean Mannion, and he delivered a stone cold dud, and really proved that if he doesn't have great players, he's not going to provide you any sort of ability to, scheme you open. Like for all the talk we've had about scheming guys open, it's still clearly relying on talent. Now it's preseason, so maybe you have the vanilla game plan and things of that nature, but yeah, not good, but I'm ready to flush it and see what we got this week in New England.
The troubling sign is McKee's regression.
That's troubling. I agree.
Listen. Keep that out there as a narrative heading into the year. Z, the regular season. You know, you're 27 days away from the start of the NFL season.
Man, that's crazy.
You got 27 days before you play the Commanders. So 13th, right? You play on September 13th, correct?
Yeah, 13th. Yep.
Okay, that's 27 days from now. You've got to have this thing primed and ready to roll and feeling comfortable with what you're doing in that Commander game. Not that the Commanders are world beaters here. All right, Big Z. Hopefully we get JAKIB. They had a later practice. That's good to know. I know he's out there. So he'll probably contact us. What we'll do is we'll go back to the guys. Any more supers, or are we good?
Yeah, we got a couple more. Let me read them.
By the way, guys, thank you very much for the supers.